Hey.
How y'all doing?
Good.
You having a good week?
Busy.
Yeah. Anyway, how you doing?
Hi.
Cool. Let's jumping on. Let's jumping in. Cool. Awesome. Do anyone else have any initial questions? Just jumping in.
Uh, I have got a question on having multiple. So if you've got two stores because you're running the two ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to have two TikTok accounts that are so that one is running to Marilyn Kelly books and the other is running to author Marilyn Kelly for if one is hockey, one is contemporary.
Yeah. So I would just have the one and just focus on posting for the one that was our initial store
Okay.
and just focusing on letting the ads do the rest of the work for the other store.
Okay. So don't post for those books at all. Just keep it strictly hockey and
Yeah.
consistent. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because posting for two, it just gets very overwhelming. And so I would just recommend just doing one. And then eventually, once we get to that point, then we can start posting and grading.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that because if we can launch up the other one and look to do the same what we're doing with the first store, and just kind of let it just keep that consistent to where we can scale up to. Then it's just extra profit and you don't really have to do much with letting the ads run and do the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Totally. Yeah, of course. You else have any other questions? You want to have any ads you want to go through either?
Yeah, if I can have you look at a couple of my campaigns that are like the ones that never did that great and are really low budget, I'm not sure if they're even like worth
Yeah, let's take a look.
running.
Because we launched up the short ad copy campaign last week, right?
Yeah, and those are doing better than the other like number 3 campaign.
Okay, cool.
So I'm just not sure.
Yeah, we're just turning these off.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I'm
And
just
then,
wasting money now.
yeah, no reason. And they're probably doing better than what they show they are.
Maybe.
These are just so much better that it's just
Yeah.
taking the budget. Let's see
I
what
was
this
also
one. Yeah,
also wondering if we wanted to try that number 4, which is the one with the short copy, if we wanted to try that international or if you want to let
definitely.
it keep. Okay.
Yeah. Mm, This one's it's holding really well though with the budget.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad.
I would say if we can aim to get this up to 1,000 per day, actually.
That sounds scary.
Underneath, yeah, down there. Yeah, let's just go up to 1,000. So it'll just slowly start to scale up. It'll probably be there by the end of the week or next
Okay.
week. And then this one, you said you dropped the budget a little bit on this
I
one.
dropped that one and that rule still applied to it just because that same rule was applied to both of them.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure if I could like turn it. I mean, it's not scaling because it's above that $19 anyway.
Yeah, then I would just leave it as is.
Okay.
Let's just look at runs and clicks. This one also shifted over to this video. That's funny.
Yeah, it's so funny to watch how it moves around.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how far it can scale up to. But we only have about 75 comments right now, which is great, but we could probably get up to like that 200 to 300 range.
Yeah, which I think is more what the US is closer to.
Really? Yeah, with how much more it's
Thanks.
spending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely getting up there. And then national. Is there any countries that we're not targeting?
No. Except maybe that one.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
And what's the budget on that? 50. Yeah, it looks like it's going to push it towards this one. See which quote. Cool. Have we launched the other one yet?
Yeah, so I launched it on Saturday and it's actually doing pretty well.
Awesome.
I'm pretty happy with it.
CPM's a bit high.
Yeah, all of mine start out crazy high, but I think it started even higher than that the first couple days.
Yeah, it's coming down. Cool. I would just let it continue to run. I wouldn't launch international yet.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Cool. What is the offer again here? Is it 9?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I'll just let it continue to run.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Was there anything else you want to cover on here?
Nope, I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Is this the new store here?
That is the new store. Yeah. So it's only been running since Saturday night. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, if we can get that same one doing the exact same thing in the next
That would be
1 to 2
crazy.
months, it's awesome. Cool. Anyone else have any other questions?
I mean, I've got like a call with you tomorrow, but I feel like we're running out of time every time every time now. After like a couple of weeks of just being like, all right, see you later. I guess we have no all the spare. So if you don't have anything you're like dying to share with us that are like hot tips and like great things to know, then you could totally look at my stuff now
Yeah,
if
let's
you
take a
wanted.
look.
And then, all right. All right, how do let's see. Do you want me to hit the screen share or?
That would
Yeah?
be great.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Sorry. Let's see. Go to the ads.
Cool. Request control.
Okay.
So, great. Okay, so this is what we were wanting to see. So right here on the last 14 days, this was at a $21 cost per result. And remember,
Okay.
we didn't increase the budget last week. We just kind of want to let it run and just pick up more engagement. And it's starting to come back down now.
Okay, great.
That's great. And then the new campaign as well. I mean, this one looks like it launched up. International is doing better here. It's at a $15 cost per result. So I would put the rules on here and start scaling these ones up.
Okay. Let's see.
So we'll go ahead and hit apply an existing rule. Oh, we didn't. Oh, yeah, because we were manually increasing.
I know I was like,
For that, we can go, let's go 125. And for this one, we'll pick it up to 150. This one, I would drop 50 back just because it doesn't make sense if it's at 28, because we can get
Right.
to 50 this one, especially before the weekend. And then let's just take a look at the engagement. And then how far have we gotten with, oh, okay. How far have we gotten with the new store?
All right, so I rolled through the Duplify
Mhm.
part of it.
Mhm.
And I think that I think it is basically set up.
Okay.
So, but as far as like ads, I'm working on this stuff. So tomorrow when we have the call, I'll have all the body
Copy.
text and stuff. Like so far, I've only got like one of them.
Okay.
And okay, Mid-Journey, like after delivering me all these nice hockey boys that like that's like all people talk about. In fact, I had to like delete a comment that said sod the books. Like, who is the guy?
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, get out of here. But now it's just giving me trash. And not just like I have bad taste and they're like actually really hot guys. It's like weird shaped
Yeah.
people.
I
I
would,
have no idea what I'm doing wrong.
yeah, I would just stick with a very, very simple prompt when you're using it.
I did. I mean, I
And
put that he was blonde and that was apparently the killer. I don't know. Like
are you putting it in commas? Are you breaking it up like,
I think so, yeah, but I'll be more careful with it. And I mean, I possibly that I was like, I didn't think having a background would be the problem because it seems like the backgrounds are they just fill in. But
yeah,
I mentioned like an apartment setting or something. Um, and it just was, really, really traumatically
okay.
bad there.
We can create them on the call tomorrow too and go
Okay.
through there.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
great. And we'll find some. We'll use some prompts that I know are working.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. It's honestly the main thing when creating the prompts now that I've seen is just putting it in a sentence of like one quick sentence, and then at the very end you could put like the hyper realistic, or I believe it's like I saw someone put in like street photography, something like that, and it makes it look very, very real.
Street photography.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll try
Yeah.
that
It's
too.
the same problem, Mira.
Yeah. But like we need a
Yeah.
support group.
I got some great ones, and then last time, not great. And I think yours are all really, really good. I was going to ask you how you prompt.
There, I mean, the hockey ones are like very attractive 30-year-old like pro hockey player in his uniform, like
Mhm.
In a rink or something. I mean, they're
Similar
really,
to what I
I think,
do, but it's so like you just don't know what you're going to get. It's such a
yeah.
like a shot in the dark. And sometimes they're too clean shaven and nice looking. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I tried to prompt like a hockey player who had just been in a fight. Midjourney
Oh
had
my
no
God.
idea what that meant. None. So should I be more specific, like with a cut above his eye or whatever?
That's typically when you can kind of get into like where it makes them have like 5, 6 fingers or something like that, is when you prompt it like that.
Okay. They're just
But I
so,
put
they
like
just look like such
ruggedly,
nice boys, and I don't think that's gonna sell any books, you know? Like, how does Jenna Miles get these guys that look like beasts, you know?
Very, very simple prompts.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she typed in like essentially the first sentence in the ad copy. It was like massive billionaire, light rain in the background,
Oh,
and like beard, and that was it.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
like I just the very simple prompts, and I'm like, I wouldn't think to say that.
Yeah,
I
just
burned
keeping it
through all
super
my
simple.
credits, like, no, 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 he's not gonna work either. And it's so demoralizing because the first time I used it, I got some great ones.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'd also look at
Yeah.
what
Oh,
other
I
people are
might have
prompting
one
too.
that is like all roughed up though, and if I do, I'll send it to you. But I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, were you able to take a look at the video that was posted in the support group the other day?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I don't even know what it is.
I thought it
What
was
is it?
great. It
Cool,
was
yeah.
really good. It was really good.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, it's just those, I mean, those ebbs and flows, definitely seeing those, and just expecting that and just looking at everything over that longer term.
There are so many people, like not so many, I shouldn't make myself sound like I know that many people, but I know people. I know a few authors who also have used your courses, but don't do the one-on-one, who struggle so hard with the emotional ups and downs of this. We're used to emotional ups and downs, it's just part of it.
Yeah,
But also when you're alone and there's not always somebody to ask, am I doing this right? I just feel like I just had a friend in a group chat yesterday. She's just, her ROAS was 0.13. She's so demoralized that she just had to walk away for a little while. And I think it's really interesting and very topical and good that you were hitting on not letting this get to you emotionally. Um, like in this call last week, Kelsey talked about mindset, and I'm reading the book she recommended, and it's been such a great week for me to kind
Good.
of try to step back and adopt a new mindset. And I just think there's such a need to address that too.
Yeah,
Because so many people just get frustrated, and this doesn't come without emotions. I think it's important that we all say, even the successful people, which I don't consider myself one of, I am just happy to be profitable. But the people making a lot of money, even they have stress and hard days and anxiety and don't know if this is the right thing.
yeah,
We're all dealing with the same uncertainties.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, and I would say that Kelsey really put it in a good way of looking at things on that weekly basis, because we'll hop on and that's when we look at the results. And she just focuses on our business, employees, and things like that, because if you can have that be stable and keep your mindset stable, everything else will kind of just come naturally.
Right. And if you can have a mindset of, I'm not doing great at this yet.
Yeah,
I'm not giving up. I'm not, a dumb person who just can't figure this out. That didn't work. So
Yeah.
there's this kids movie, this Pixar movie called Meet the Robinsons. And I've always loved it because in their family, failing is a good thing because it means you tried.
Yeah,
And I think that's really important to know that maybe this one didn't work or that one either. But it just means you're that much closer to something that will work.
yeah, exactly. And that's the important thing to remember too, is that on average in the advertising world, like 1 out of 15 ads is going to be like a hit. And the closer that we can get to that, because once we start hitting them, then it's a lot easier to keep creating those ads that are doing really well. Because there's been so many cases where it's like the third campaign that we launch up, that's the one that just takes off. And then that makes up for everything and a lot more. And then we just hone in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, mindset's everything. It really is.
I had no idea going in how much my mindset of this probably isn't going to work, but let's just throw it out there anyway was
Yeah.
affecting me.
Yeah, and I mean, with the more opportunity, there's also more stress that comes along with that. But stress isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like you can have good stress too, and dealing with what's coming your way. And typically that's actually the best
I
feeling, is
agree.
dealing
And
with it.
you just have to remember that it in no way reflects your value as a person or the
Not at
quality
all.
of writing
Yep.
if your ads aren't hitting it. It's a totally different game
Yep.
than writing.
Completely different. Yeah, and being able to just recognize the problem too, and that whole like a thought only just being a thought is so powerful, because then once you realize that, it's like, oh, I'm thinking this. This is me causing these thoughts are causing these emotions. And that's exactly what's the root of it.
I always say an author therapist could make bank.
Yeah. You know,
Just
Becca
somebody to
Symes,
listen. Yeah, I do. I do.
she's
And
awesome. Yeah.
she is awesome. And there's so many people out there who need just that mindset,
Mhm.
encouragement and coaching. And it's so nice when it's somebody who understands the specific ups and downs of this job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah. Do you have any other questions? Anything you want to go through too?
I have one question. I had asked
Mhm.
you a few calls ago about Markets Pro. Did
Markets
you ever
Pro
look into that?
through Shopify?
Yeah, so basically it's for international sales, and
Mhm.
their sales spiel is that they handle all of the duties and taxes, and
Mhm.
I can't remember what the other wording is. Um, but I'm just wondering if that's something I need and something that is worth it.
How much time do you think it would save you per week?
Well, it's not about saving me time. It's about the fact that I don't just confessing in front of all of you here. I don't understand the total tax ramifications and obligations of international sales.
Mhm.
And what it would be nice is just to shove it off on somebody else and be
Then
like, you guys are going to figure it out. But they take a percentage of your sales.
how
So
much?
uh, I would have to
I
look at
think
it.
I think I saw it was like 6%, and which is not that unreasonable. That's like what EAS takes too for EU. But my concern was that they hold this, like Global E holds your money and only pays you twice a month. So like if you're counting on that money to keep that revenue to keep your
Oh,
ads going, that makes me
yeah.
nervous. But otherwise it sounds great because I keep looking at that too and going, oh, is that the
Mhm.
easy way to go for international? But that's the thing that worries me. Like I don't want my money held up for, potentially 60 days, then you were looking at an
No,
Amazon
and
situation.
on
Mhm.
what basis? Like the customer
Yeah.
already paid that money. What is their argument for it being reasonable?
Yeah, they said like in case of refunds or,
Yeah.
issues of whatever, but that's the part that gives me pause about it.
Me too. Me too. But as my international sales grow, I'm like, I probably need to, what if I'm gonna owe a bunch of taxes on this that I'm
Yeah.
not collecting and
Have
Yeah,
you
don't
looked
no,
know?
I know.
have you looked up the thresholds? Because I do know that I believe the threshold is pretty high in Australia and UK that you have to
Okay, and
hit.
Shopify lets us know, right, when we're
Yeah.
approaching it? Okay.
I would have to, because like, yeah, I don't know anything about taxes, and
And
it's
unfortunately, my accountant can't help with this either. My accountant's advice on this was basically don't borrow trouble on US taxes. He said, don't go tell the state of Georgia that you sold $1,000 worth of ebooks there. They're not going to come after you for their
yeah.
$8. He basically said, just leave it alone. And I
Mhm.
was like, that sounds like a terrible idea.
That's what
Um,
I've heard a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
but like he's the accountant. What else am I gonna do? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I would just look up the thresholds because you may be under there and it may even take like 5 or 6 more months to hit that point.
Okay.
And so I,
'Cause there are all these authors that block is it Manitoba in
Yeah.
Canada? I don't have it blocked.
I
It's
don't
just
have it blocked either. I don't
I just
even know.
they block it because there's this certain rule in that one province. I think that's what it's called. That is a tax pain that
Mhm.
makes it so that it's easier to just not sell anything there. So I'm just hoping nobody from Manitoba, I think it is, ever buys any of my books.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 Canadian provinces, and it's that they have a zero threshold for the taxation. So like if you sell one book there, all you're gonna owe money. And I do have it blocked after taking that lady's class, so I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
But
Morgana, probably.
I do get comments like on the thing, like because it gives those people a redirect, like the site doesn't work. And I do get comments on ads like, oh, your link doesn't work. I can't load it. How come I can't buy it here? So
Oh,
I
yeah.
I don't know what the right answer is. I am blocking those, but I know there's some other Canadian provinces that have really low thresholds, which I'm not keeping track of, but it does make me nervous. Like as the numbers start going up, like I don't want other countries coming after me for for their sales tax.
I feel the same way. And I
You know,
feel
it's
like
like,
there's no like super clear cut answer out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would love to know what you guys are using for taxes, though, whether, not even, I mean, just for like regular US stuff, like, are there any apps that are tied into it? I have an appointment with my accountant next month. I am like not positive that he's gonna be a Shopify expert here in like rural Minnesota. So, I would
Well, and
love
the
to
thing
hear
my
what you guys
accountant
would.
said is, my accountant said there's nobody out there who's gonna know the tax laws of every state.
Sure,
Nobody.
right.
And that's what he said, that's what you would really need, is to know. So what I rely on, I'm not saying that this is wise, but I rely on Shopify telling me when I've met my, I think they call it a nexus.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'll figure out what I'm supposed to do when I get there.
That's what a lot of
So-
people do, because I know a lot of people, you might not even hit the threshold in that state. A vast majority of people, like you have to do quite a bit of revenue to be hitting those numbers in each state.
Okay, so you've never heard of anybody selling on Shopify and then all of a sudden, like, they have this massive unexpected tax
No, I've not.
from international sales or?
No,
Okay,
We've
because
never
another
had that.
thing is that when you pay international taxes, they're tax deductible on your US taxes. But like when I get German royalties, I pay the German taxes and then I write them off so you don't get double taxed.
Mhm.
But my accountant wants nothing to do with this.
Mm.
Let me see, for selling ebooks. So yeah, it is $75,000 for Australia.
Mhm.
Oh, good.
And then for Canada, so it's 30,000. Yeah, not too
30,000?
for Canada, it looks like, yeah.
And
Okay.
I assume those are in the local currency, right? So like 75,000 Australian dollar. And that's where I start getting
like
worried. 'Cause I'm
50
like looking at it when it
40,
switches
50.
to the US and it's way lower. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, that's not the right number.
Yeah, we probably definitely hit that already.
Did you say 40 for the UK?
I
Tammy?
don't know for UK. I
Oh,
was just looking. I
I'm
couldn't
sorry,
find
I
it.
couldn't hear you. Okay. All right.
And are you, when you said you were looking, was that in Shopify?
No, I was just looking on Google.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking up the threshold for those products. And it looks like it's that. I'm not 100% sure though, because it could be different for different products.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing stresses me out like the tax thing and just having this sort of like question mark, like, oh yeah, let's look at that in a month or two. And I'm like, I mean, is that okay? Like, is that like,
Let me-
I'm like, is that
yeah.
all right to look at it in a month or two?
Let me
Like,
talk to Ty. Kelsey's husband is a tax professional. Let me talk to him. I could probably ask him to make a video and put that in the group talking about this stuff.
oh
That would
my
be
gosh,
awesome.
that would be so
So
great.
helpful. And I
Yeah,
understand that he
no.
can't give like,
Yeah.
He's a
Right.
tax professional.
yeah, but anything that he is certain of, I would
Mhm.
love to know it, even if he is not certain of every single thing.
Yeah. That would be really nice.
Yeah, I'll send that over to him right after the call.
Cause I don't want to give up 6%. And when they talked about covering duties, I was like, maybe they're talking about something other than ebooks, because I don't think duties are an issue for me. And I don't want to give up 6% of my sales if I don't really need to.
I think duties are only for physical goods.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, those
Okay.
are only for your physical copies there.
That's good.
well, I think they become the vendor of record if you
Mhm.
hire them, and I would rather not, but I would also rather not get in trouble with the IRS.
Yeah.
Or any other country's taxing authority.
It's speaking of physical goods, so if you have the little, this order might be fraudulent, um little hazard sign with a
Yeah.
physical order, like, I mean, what's the best practice here? Like, what
Yeah,
do
so
you?
those can happen when someone purchases in a different state than what their credit card is in. So like if they're
Okay.
in California and they purchase while they're in Utah,
Okay.
that will show. So I wouldn't worry about that at all.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's just telling me to actually contact them, and I was like,
Only if the
like,
payment doesn't go through.
okay, so just like sit on it for like a day or two or
Mm-hmm.
something, and then
Yeah, and if the payment doesn't go through, then I would contact them. If not, I would not worry about those.
okay. Yeah, I know. I was just like, let's see. It says it's authorized. Yeah, captured using a MasterCard, authorized using a MasterCard.
Or
And
if the
when it
shipping
says
information is different too than the payment.
via, what's that?
If the shipping information is different than the payment info too, that'll also,
Mm.
it can.
So if it's a purchase made from shop, does that mean that it was sold through through TikTok or through Instagram? Like if it says, or oh no, that's Shop Pay. Never
Yeah,
mind.
Shop Pay. Yeah, that's just a normal purchase. It's just the people that have that account. Mhm.
Okay. Because I did notice there were a couple and I can't see where it actually listed it now,
Mhm.
but there was something when I was some view that I pulled up, and it had a different, yeah, for channel. It
Mhm.
was online store for like 90% of them, and then there was like shop or
Mhm.
something listed as, and I was not sure like what that actually was.
That would probably be TikTok Shop. I would assume so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, we can take a look at that on the call too, though.
With
We'll dive through all the analytics and everything.
amateur hour here with Mira.
No, you're good. Yeah, and if anyone sees the Ad Spy library in your sessions by source as well, those have been coming up. It's just a tool that people can use, Ad Spy, and it essentially just lets you look at Facebook ads. It's just like the Facebook ad library. It's just organized a little bit differently. And some bots can send traffic to the store. And so if you see those, I just wouldn't worry about it. It's just bots. It's not gonna like retarget or mess with any of the big data or anything like that.
Yeah, they're just like looking at your site
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Do anyone else have any other questions? Anything you want to go through?
One last question.
Yeah.
Always. The so we've talked about this before, but I'm starting to see a little bit more with the paperbacks, and not crazy, but since I'm doing the recovers with the discrete covers, and possibly looking at the that ultimate bundle that we're gonna do for the second store,
Yeah.
considering possibly tuning up those covers, since you asked me if the ones that were made last year were from 2014. I'm just curious if I'm going to put like effort in with those things. I feel like I want to include that personalization thing. I have the Dawn theme, and I've just, duplified it onto the second store. And when I searched it on like Google, how do I add this field to this?
Yeah.
What came up was like a guy with a 13-minute tutorial on how to like enter the code. So it looks like it's not just like, oh, you just hit these 3 buttons like maybe some of the themes are. Is it like it do I is changing the theme super easy, and like and making it work that way, or putting some note at the top? Because I don't want to lose customers when that are potentially looking at ordering, 10 books or something, because they're like signed, but she's not even going to personalize them. So it was like, maybe I put some kind of note at the top, like, hey, you have an hour from the time you place the order to email me here and let me know what the thing is. It's always easier if there's actually like a field right in front that they would recognize, but I don't know. I was just like trying to think of ways to kind of maximize the potential, if
Yeah, I don't think that would deter people from making a purchase. I
Okay.
think people are personalization is a value add. And so if
Right.
people are going to purchase the book, they want to buy the book.
Okay.
The personalization would be that it would be just an extra value out on top. But having them signed is also a value add too.
Well, I always sign them, but like the
Yeah.
TikToks that I'm doing, and I just had to take one down today because I realized that it like was all messed up when it loaded. But like the TikToks that I'm doing, the easiest thing for me to do is like the signing the books while I do it. And it looks to me like there's more appeal in like putting the little note that goes with it with like and so it's like the ones that I'm making have somebody's name,
Yeah.
and then that's not what's on the website. That I guess that's, and like, you know, all the old stuff that I have has somebody's name and a little message and stuff. So that was sort of like my thing is if they're coming from TikTok and they've seen that that's what it is, it's a
Mhm.
mismatch to what's on the store. And if I'm just like making more out of it, then like it's
Yeah.
me with my personality type being
I'm
like,
going through the same thing. Like I've sold 6 blind date with a hockey romances on my site. And like today I had somebody buy 2. And I'm like, should I personalize both of those to this one person who ordered? So I'm just signing them. I'm not personalizing
Yeah,
them.
that's what I would do. I think it's just gonna be a
Um,
lot to personalize.
My
the
friend
blind
Shell
date
on her
ones, I would
store,
do that. Yeah.
so my friend Shell says, she sells a lot of paperbacks. All books come personalized unless you email me here and request otherwise.
Mhm.
So instead of asking them to email if they want personalized, like you mentioned, it might be a little smoother and less emails if you say all books will come personalized unless you request
Yeah.
otherwise.
But you can't do that because the names are not always right. Like I actually emailed this woman yesterday because she placed an order and it's like, you know, it's 10 books. You don't want to be like, hey,
Right.
Leslie, thank you so much for this. Because I was like, hey, you know, if you'd like me to do this, let me know. And because occasionally they don't. And she's like, oh yeah, but could you make them out to Karen? And I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
you
Yeah, that would
bet.
just be a headache. That would just be a lot to manage.
What I've been
Well, see,
doing is
that's
just
why I'm
writing
thinking the
out,
field. That's why I
I
want
write
the
the
just the
personalized card to the person who ordered. And it just
Yeah.
says, thank you for supporting my small business, happy reading. And then I sign it and I don't personalize the books, but
Mhm.
I'm not moving very many at all. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I know there's an app that you can do that with. I believe someone else was using it. I can look into
I'm
that.
sorry, what I'm gonna turn the volume up. What did you say it was, Cameron?
There's an app that you can do that with. I know someone was using it. I can look into that and then we can look to get that set up on the call. Yeah, because the field that would be the easiest. And if it wasn't that, then I would just say, if you want them personalized, then you can email me.
It would be nice if it was like Etsy. On Etsy, you can
Mhm.
put a note to seller. I just ordered a bag for a bridal shower. And you
Mhm.
just put a note to seller, please personalize too. It would be nice if there was something like that on Shopify.
Yeah.
So you can put a note on TikTok Shop, but I've had absolutely no one do that.
Oh, really?
I've had 2 personalization requests out of like hundreds. So it hasn't actually been a thing for me at all. And I haven't done it because I have a lot of people who do it for gifts. So
Mhm. Yeah, I think a lot of people just want the book. That's the main thing. That's like 95% of the selling aspect. And the others are just value adds on top.
Okay. That
Yeah.
if you can look into the ad
Yeah.
or the app and let me know, because I know I'm like, I believe you that it's not gonna make a big difference, but I feel like I have to try. Like, and I don't think it'll make a big difference, but like maybe it'll be like that little thing that gets me over so that I'm above my ad spend.
Yeah.
Like, I'm my like little Shopify side of it. I just want to be like,
Yeah,
give
right
me
there.
give me the extra little order,
Yeah.
please. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I could definitely
Just the
help.
little things to like fine tune and, you know, iterating, I guess, just seeing like how many little tweaks I can make to make the experience like that much more effective. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks you.
Mhm. Of course. Cool. Looks like Ty actually just responded. Cool. Yeah, so I'll talk to him and we might be able to jump in and do a call or a video, just going through everything.
That would be so, so helpful.
Yeah. Cool. Would you prefer a video or more of a webinar format where you could ask questions? Kind of like this.
I don't know. The nice thing about a video is it's there for future use.
Well, the recording of the webinar would be there
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think the nice thing about a video for me is that there's no like Mira jumping in and asking a question that sidetracks the conversation. Like the information he wants to convey is just put out there. And if there was an opportunity for like a follow-up for a follow-up Q&A, like sometimes they do with RAM,
Mhm.
where they'll have like the presentation and then there's like a half-hour window that they schedule where they're willing to like, answer a few questions or, submit your questions and I'll answer them for you kind of thing. So that would be super helpful.
Cool. We could probably do a split then in between
Yeah.
and
You could do like just have him bring something to the call to
yeah.
present to people, and then the last 30 minutes can be kind of an open Q&A in a sense.
It might
Yeah.
help if you did it like you do the monthly group calls where you say, what are your questions? So that he
Mm.
has some in advance, because I mean, it's a lot to expect one person to know every tax question and answer. I think it might help him if he knows what some of the main questions are going in. I mean, maybe he does because of Kelsey, so.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I've
more
gotten 3
information on
sales during this call.
that.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
That's so cool. Well, cool. Yeah, do you have any other questions? Wrap up. Cool. Awesome. But yeah, I'll go ahead and drop this call in the folder and then see everyone else on the next one-on-one call.
Sure.
Cool.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone. Have a great
Thank
Bye,
week.
you.
y'all.